Command Master Chief Mickey Jones. You ready?
Yes, sir.
When you look at yourself in uniform now, knowing retirement's a few days away, what hits the hardest?
Taking care of the sailors. Seeing that young sailor or civilian. You know what? Let's take it even back further. Sailors and civilian, because that's what we deal with here every day. Seeing that young sailor, that young civilian, checking into the command, first time doing everything, and seeing what happens in 2 to 3 years, or what happens in the 10 to 15 years. Your goal is you can't save every one, but you want to see each one go further, better than what they were. And I'm telling you, one of the coolest things is when you get a sailor that was an E3, E4, or that you was on that sailor's or on that sailor's case or civilian case, and they hit you up later on. You're like, man, thank you for doing that. So I think that's the thing that's going to be probably the most hurting. It's not any of that. That's what it's going to be. Taking care of the sailors and see how far you can push them to go. Because you ready for this? I need a relief.
So after 30 plus years of service, what part of your story do you think most people never seen?
The hardest part, I'm actually dyslexic. I see stuff. It takes me. I got to read something 2 or 3 times. I had a mentor that taught me how to read better, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, I came from a small town, Macon County, Georgia. I'm not trying to be funny. The school system was not the best, and they chose who they wanted to move to be better. So coming from a small place like that to learn how to read better, one, to be able to talk to people, look at them in the face and have a conversation, I would say those are the 2 biggest ones, because I never had that chance. And have people that believe in you, right? Because at the end of the day, your name should mean something. And I think a lot of people forget that. At the end of the day, they're going to remember what your name is, not, that person. They're going to say that was a good person or a bad person. So, leaving a name and that remarks and stuff. So from the beginning to the ending, I hope that I left a name that was something that they can always say, hey, wow, this was a learning experience.
Your legacy created.
Yes. Yes. I guess that would be a legacy. Trying to leave, I never thought about it that way, but yeah, trying to leave something behind. So 10, 12, 13, 20 years down the road, I remember this old Master Chief said this, and somebody can follow and lead with it.
So I guess with that being said, do you have anybody of that from your past that kind of echoed throughout your career?
Oh man, I'll give you the first one, Brandon Knox. That was my mentor. Marvin Haynes. They taught me a lot of stuff, and I took in what they had to make it better. And I'm gonna be honest, I still look up to them, even to this day. Even though they're not here, I look at them too. That's mentorship. And they taught me everything. It made me better, which I'm gonna tell you, and I brought other things in to make it better also. But those 2 were the ones that set the milestone.
At this stage, what does the uniform mean beyond the rank, the title, and the position?
I think sometimes we forget a uniform don't make a person. It don't. I think your credibility in what you do. Yes, it says U.S. Navy, it says Jones. You see the cookie at the bottom, but I think it's more of how do we push to do better? I always wanted to push sellers. I never thought about just making just a norm. I wanted to be the best. And besides me being the best, I know I had to make our team the best. And I think sometimes we forget about that. We just had an inspection not too long ago. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the coolest things in the world, when you got an inspector says, I've never seen a command like this. And that makes you think, like, okay, then you got to ask him, why? What did you see so different? He said, you guys are all coming in positive attitude. Your sailors coming in positive. They're all wearing the simple things. They're patches. The UIC patches, Nick Tim's, it means something. So, and they wear the ball cap. So when you see stuff like that, I think that's what it means to, make a command the best. That's all I think I ever wanted. Just every command I went to, how can I make it the best? How can we be the one that everybody want to come to us? I had this Gretchen Merriman. She was a '06 captain, great leader. And she said to me one day, she said, what does it take for you to come to work every day with a smile on your face? And I think that's what I always wanted to live with. I wanted that smile on my face every day.
So was there ever a period in your career where you nearly lost yourself or lost everything? And if so, what was the thing that kind of pulls you back and kept you going forward?
My first CMC tour. I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to quit. I had, no matter what we did, how much we pushed, my ISIC wasn't supporting. The TICOM, they just didn't want to put us in the right spots. And if I didn't have my wife, if I didn't have other people to call, I'll give you an example. Joe Williams, LSCM. If I didn't have him, I'd be stuck in. So having good people like that helped us. Great people, not good, great people.
So what's a belief that you had early on in your career that you held tight that you no longer have now at this point in the career?
Ooh.
Where you know that whatever that belief may be was just wrong or just not a complete.
Oh man, and I think it's just growing up, being in that group, that crap bearer effect. I just got to get mine. I ain't worried about nobody else. It took me about, 7 to 8 years to learn that. It ain't about, it's not about me. It's about the group. I'm gonna tell you one of the things I learned. The Filipino community, they got a mindset of push, pull. They push everybody up and they pull people up. And because they got that mindset, I had a lot of friends, pares, if you want to call it, mentors, Noel Ramos, Sonny Barcega, people like that to say, that's how we need to do it. And I followed it and it worked. I'm telling you, it's the best thing in the world. Get rid of the crap barrier effect. Let's go with the push pull. And you bring more people. You can bring so many people up in life. Military, civilian, retired, all of them. We all eat.
So now as this chapter is closing on your life,
yeah,
what do you feel like, if anything, is owed to the family?
Oh man, I owe so much, especially my daughter. 20 years at sea. Actually at sea. I didn't get a chance to see all the stuff that should have been seen. I think sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I was putting more into my Navy family, vice versa my actual family. And I apologize for that. But when I can and when I could, I try to make those times up. And like I always told her, I said, whatever you want, daddy got you. My wife, if you don't have a strong support system, me and my wife been together 28 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks. And that's married. We've been together longer than that. And if you don't have a strong support system, and where most people fail because they don't have a strong support system. I was telling somebody one day, out of the group that got married in that period, in 1998, me and my wife are the last ones in our group. Meaning of like 40, 50 couples in Japan, we're the last ones. And you got to have something that's strong. That's love. And that ain't perfect. We argued, but we never argued in front of my daughter. We didn't agree on everything, but at the end of the day, we made it work to be the best. So that's what you got to have, that strong family and that support system. And you got to know when you're wrong. Men out there, women out there, sometimes you got to humble yourselves and admit to it. I think a lot of times we don't admit to that problem where we messed up. I think I done got pretty good at admitting when I messed up, man.
What did the service cost you personally, and what did you gain personally from the service?
Oh man. What I lost, family members. I lost a lot of a grandma, a aunt, two aunts, two uncles, no, one uncle, my mom who's in hospice care. I lost all that. So time. I lost a lot of that with family members because you can't get that back. You can never get that back, time and stuff. What did I gain? Oh, brothers and sisters. You don't get that when you can call somebody. Just like just now, I got off the phone and talked to one of my brothers who was in Bahrain, Terrence, and just to say how you doing and stuff. That is a relationship that you'll never get, ever. No matter what, I can call. Like my daughter now probably got about 300 or 400 uncles and aunts. That you don't get that.
Yeah.
So a bigger family, not from the bloodline, but from a bigger group of groups. From the Sigmas, Phi Beta Sigmas, from the Chiefs mess. You ready for this? She got uncles that are first classes. So I think because of that, that's where we built from that.
Knowing that this is one of the last times in uniform, what do you want to say, or what do you still want to do while you have it on?
Still take care of sellers every day. You see, I'm still here. Like I'm gonna tell you, the average person, they quit at 6 months, and they try to take care of all their stuff. 7 days, I think. I'm still here taking care of the sellers and stuff. It's not because I need to. It's just something that's what we're supposed to do. That's our job, and I think sometimes we forget about that. So that's one. Two, every morning come in with a positive attitude. You got to. Don't stop thinking that we always have bad moments. We don't have bad days. I think we forget about that. Just because you get in a car accident, your whole day ain't bad, because you could have been dead. There's 100 ways you could have been rolling out and stuff. Three, tell people thank you. I believe we forget to say thank you to people and appreciate what they've done. You'd be surprised just saying good morning and thank you to that gate guard. And when you're coming in, they might need a positive. You never know. That could have been the person that's thinking about killing themselves.
Yeah. So
I think if we do those things and go back with life, and I'm always going to talk about finance. I think we all got to get that because it's kind of hurting us to see that folks are in worse financial situations than where they started. And which I don't understand. I don't know how we get from it. You do 20 or 30 or 40 years in the military and you're in a worse situation, you should be moving it upward. So if I could do, those would be the things I would like to tell somebody going out.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep doing it till, even when I get out, I'm still going to keep preaching that they do these things.
Well, that's kind of a great segue into the next question. On what part of you will never take the uniform off?
The mentoring. Never going to take that off. I think we all can mentor somebody. I've had enough ups and downs. I think I'm pretty decent. I messed up enough, and I think good enough to do that. Finances. There's a guy named Doug Norman. He wrote this financial book, and I'm gonna tell you, he's helped us out, and I've given it to every seller. And I want to teach finances to sellers. Basic. I don't need to make your money. I don't need to for you to give me money to make money. I just want somebody to. So if I could teach you the basic stuff, because you ready for this? When I die, I got a daughter. I pray and I hope that somebody's gonna do my daughter the same way.
Right now, we're in your office, the Command Master Chief office. If Benjamin Jones walked through this door right now to sit down in that chair, what would you say to him? And he's just starting his 30-year career. Well, he's just starting his career.
Oh, wow. Tell me what you want to do. What is your goals? And I asked every seller, I just had a seller check in. What was your background? Why you joined the Navy? What do you want to do? You ever thought about finances? Do you ever think about education? I would get all that stuff out. Even though I know we're supposed to do it at when we talk to the sellers and
Career
stuff.
development board.
Yeah, CDBs. I know we're supposed to do all that at CDBs. I talk about it now because I want to get that first impression of that seller. First impressions are lasting impressions. So I think we need to do that. That's what I would tell them. And I would ask where they from, because I think we just listen, trying to understand where they're from. You can kind of understand what they trying to do. Like I say, no one's never heard of Macon County, Georgia. It's a small country town. We don't even have red lights. But if you know a little bit something about it, right? If if a seller's from Virginia or Portsmouth, you kind of like, oh, okay, I know what part you're from. Are you from Norfolk, right? So I think by having that conversation to figure out what they want to do and make them know what they want to do also, I think that would help out.
What was the heaviest burden you carried as a senior enlisted leader that junior sellers would never fully understand?
Putting all the effort in a seller, and no matter what, they still mess up. And they go home, they get kicked out. You know they ain't have nothing. We had a seller pop for drugs a couple months ago from Louisiana, from the bad part, Marrero. You knew he was going back to something that wasn't going to be good. He already said he came from a troubled home and all that stuff. Smart guy. God, he was so smart. But no matter how many times you talk to him, he wasn't going to get right. The one seller that you know is the smartest in the room, and they on Port Royal, the dude did cocaine. Yeah, those are the ones, because you put effort, and and it's we're supposed to treat all our sellers equally, but you can't. It's just like any other thing. Sometimes you do put a little bit more effort in those sellers. I've been those would be the ones. I haven't, like the ones that I had a seller kill herself, but we did everything you could do. Those are the ones you could do everything you can do. You pray on it, you talk to the seller, you take them to all the counseling. But some stuff is going to happen. But I think the ones that hurt me the most are the ones that you done put all the effort in, and you done did everything, and no matter what, it was like it was destined to happen. You put the seller with the right people. You make sure they talk to the right sellers. You put the right sellers to mentor them, and they still do the same thing. So, and then you just learn. You're like, you know what? Some stuff is just meant to happen. It's destined to happen, and you just got to roll with it and pack that burden in the back of your head and keep rolling. And every once in a while, you cry or you run it out or do whatever you got to do.
Okay. All right. So, final question. Just to close out everything. So now as you look back, reflect on 30 plus years. So we both joined a Navy that does not exist in this day and age.
True.
So when you look at the Navy that you joined, and now you look at the current state of the United States Navy, do you think the Navy is in a better place? Do you think the people's in a better place? The leadership? Are there things from yesteryear that we should pull into the present? Or is everything where it is the way it should be?
I believe we have smarter sellers now. They're way smarter than I was. Some of them, believe it or not, can have a college degree right now if they chose to. I think our leadership, sometimes we put some people in the wrong spots. We're not, but like I had a mentor tell me, okay, stay in and fix the issue. We got more people getting out. I'm used to a master chief, I'm used to a senior chief doing 26. I'm used to a master chief having 30. That don't happen no more. I got master chiefs getting out at 20 years. So where's that knowledge base and stuff? So it's not like we're not losing anything. We're hurting ourselves because we're losing that experience, that mentorship. Again, it takes 20 years to get a 20-year master chief. You can't get it in 3 years. It takes that long, and that's where our problem is at. So once we get the knowledge, they move on to something else. But what we should be doing is trying to figure out how we can keep them. Once we get a master chief, we should be throwing them $50,000 to $100,000 bonuses. We throw them at department heads. Throw it at them senior guys so we can keep them in. I'm a CMC. We've been talking about trying to get a bonus for CMCs for years, and they never give it away. They say you don't need it. But I'm telling you right now, I think a lot more people would stay in because they're getting out to get another job to make more money. So why don't we keep them in here? I never needed the money. I've been blessed. But I'm gonna tell you, after a while, you get to start saying like, okay, what's the purpose of staying in for so long? And then you start looking at them, right? Like, I was blessed. I had the MCPONs. They let me stay in, and I stayed at a 06 command by choice. I stayed at 06 commands by choice. I never wanted to be working for the admirals. Nothing against them. I guarantee there's some great admirals out there, but I wanted to be on the deck plates because after a while, once you go to the 07 job, you're not working for those junior sailors. You're working for the people that work for the junior sailors. Then you don't get a chance to see and talk with them and mold and get them better. So that's what's killing us. I'm telling you right now, this year we're losing the most CMCs ever. We're losing the most Master Chiefs. I got a Master Chief. We got a Master Chief at this command leaving at 21 years. This dude made Master Chief at 14, 15 years. So what are we doing? We got to recheck ourselves. What are we doing wrong in this?
That's a great point.
We need them. We need that knowledge base. We need that leadership. We need that old person that's in there to say this is what we need to do right. Not saying the young one can't, but I'm telling you, sometimes it's good to have that old knowledge.
Bring that wisdom forward.
Yes. So we need that. I think that's the biggest thing right there. I think we're losing knowledge too fast.
Yeah.
So that's where we at.